Welcome back to the Fit Life Orange County podcast. I am your host, Jake Stewart, and I'm super excited about today's episode. Today, I sat down with Jaime Glover. She's a super awesome boot camp member here in Mission Viejo, California, with almost 100 pounds lost over the last couple years, and she talks us through her entire story. It's an awesome one, and I can't wait for y'all to hear it. So without further ado, let's get to it.
Here is Bryce Henson and Jake Stewart, your host of the Fit Life Orange County.
Welcome back to the Fit Life Orange County. Today, I have the amazing pleasure of getting to sit down with one of my favorite boot campers, Miss Jaime. Jaime, welcome to the studio. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
I'm so excited to have you on this podcast. You have such an amazing story that I cannot wait to tell. I almost want to just tell it right now, but we'll get there. Hold on, all in good time. We'll get along to your full story because it is really truly an inspiring story. But first things first. Let's let the audience know who you are. So I'd like to give just a little bit of an intro, kind of tell the audience a little bit about who you are, just a little bit about yourself.
My name is Jaime Glover. I have 3 different jobs. And my first job is working with Whole Foods grocery store in Laguna Niguel. And then I work on my brother's food truck, which is called Salt and Pepper. And I take a little girl, Sadie, but she's off for the summer right now. And I'll be coming to get her in August again.
Totally. Yeah. Well, that's super duper awesome. I know you're a busy lady. You always have something. There's always something going on in your life. But let's backtrack. Let's talk a little bit about a couple years ago and kind of let's talk about your fitness background first, and then we'll get along to some more of your story a little bit later. But tell us, so what did fitness kind of look like in your life? So maybe even from when you were like a young kid, like, hey, growing up, did you play sports? Has fitness always been a part of your life? Was it something that got put on the back burner? So just tell me a little bit about it, because I'm very curious to hear the full story. So I know most of the story, but I want to hear the full story.
The full story was when I was a kid. At 3 years old, I started playing soccer. And then I just been a total sports fanatic, just trying to keep busy and be active and with sports and everything, which was soccer. I did baseball, I did softball, track, and cross country.
Holy smokes. Yeah, that's a lot.
Until 1998, my husband and I got married, and I tried to be very active then and try to do some activities. But a year after we got married, I got pregnant with my son Andrew. And then ever since then, that was in 2000 when he was born, March 8, 2000. I decided to just stop and focus and be a mom.
Totally.
And then 3 months after my son was born, I got pregnant with my daughter.
Back to back.
Back to back.
That's quick.
One boy and one girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they got a little bit older, I had them play sports too.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter she started at 3 years old. She was a very good soccer player. She played soccer all the way till her junior year in high school.
Awesome.
And my boy was into cars. He loved all kinds of old-fashioned cars and just very expensive cars.
Definitely.
But yeah.
I like the expensive stuff.
Yeah.
Well, so it sounds to me like fitness kind of got put on the back burners for ever since you became a mom, and that's a pretty frequent thing. That's a lot of times here at boot camp. Obviously, like our demographic is moms. Is like a lot of moms come through here at Fit Body Boot Camp, and that's typically the scenario. You know, like, hey, after I had my first and my second child, it became more about them and less about me. You know, so I didn't take the time for myself. Yeah, which is a really great episode. If you guys go a couple episodes back with Marie Demond, she talks a whole lot about putting yourself first. So you guys should go back and give that a listen. Maybe we'll put a link below. But yeah, so talk me through a little bit about, like, were you able to still get out and do walks? Like, were you doing anything for fitness, like especially like up till recently?
Yes. When my babies were younger, I think it was like at the age of probably 5 until like 10, I used to have a double stroller, mm-hmm. and we used to walk around Mission Viejo Lake, mm-hmm. and that was one of my goals of being with them. And then that was something I was doing for years. And then they started high school. My son started high school in 2014, and then I stopped working out because he was in high school. We needed to focus on high school, and then my daughter was playing sports, and we were just on the go. Oh, and she was on a club team.
Yeah.
But I decided for myself, I stopped Pobby for a good 4 years when they were in high school. And then after they got out of high school, because my son graduated in 2018 and my daughter graduated in 2019, I ended up start focusing on myself in 2019.
Yes, and this brings us to the incredible story that I'm super excited to say. But let's go first where we're at right now, and then we'll backtrack and talk a little bit more about the story. So from 2019 till now, recording in 2023, how much weight have you lost? So what did your body weight go from?
It went from 250 pounds in 2019 to 165 pounds.
That is absolutely incredible. So almost a 100-pound difference.
Yeah.
So let's unravel that a little bit. So in that 100 pounds that you've lost, what have you done? So what has been the magic ingredient? You know, what have you done to get to where you are today, and what got you to get started? Because I know in 2019 you said you were still not really working out. You weren't really putting yourself first. So what got you in? What got you started? And then I know starting boot camp in 2021. So
what got me started was to make myself happy and not be overweight.
Definitely.
Because my ex was not a very nice person. Verbally, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I needed to do something for myself that made me happy. And I did from 2019 to 2021. And back then I was 250 pounds. And then when 2021 came, when I came here, I was 216, which I did lose a little bit of 34 pounds.
Yeah.
And then that's when I figured out, when I got in here, I just felt just loved unconditionally. And it's one of the best feelings that a person can feel. From you to John, and one other person that made a huge inspiration for me too was Nina. She was just...
Definitely.
If you needed somebody to talk to, she was there. Or you guys were there. Like you guys don't... I know I've been to like a gym. It's not the same.
No.
It is not the same at all. And I was like, I didn't like the gym outtake because people are kind of snobby, very snobby, and just not very cool towards me when I went there. And I said, okay, let me figure it out. And my one motivation in 2021 was, when I came here, was my goal. This is what Tatiana was asking me too. Within that year period before my 50th birthday is to lose 50 pounds.
And did you do it?
I did.
I know you did.
Right on my birthday.
That's so incredible, Jaime. That's such an awesome goal to set for yourself.
Coach Bryce here. Now, you might know me as the co-host of this podcast and the owner of Mission Viejo Fit Body. But what many people don't know is that began my fitness journey as a fitness transformation. Now, you see, circuit training and nutrition coaching absolutely changed my life after being overweight with a diet of mainly fast food in my late teens. Now, upon my fitness transformation in early 2007, yes, I gained a much better physique as I was overweight and I lacked lean muscle. But way more than burning fat and building lean muscle, I increased my self-confidence, my energy, and my vibrancy to live life on life's terms. Now, it's for these reasons that many people join our boot camp. Now, in fact, with our Ultimate Transformation Program, we guarantee, yes, guarantee, that you'll lose at least 10 pounds within 6 weeks, or your program is free until you do. Now, go ahead and visit our website at missionviejofitbody.com. Now, thanks, and back to the show.
I'm setting a little bit of time for you, and that's truly what these 30 minutes are. It's you time. It's time to like forget about kids, forget about work, forget about spouses, forget about everything else, and just put a little time in yourself. And because you took that 30 minutes, and it's only 30 minutes a day, like 4 or 5 times a week, you took that just like really, really small amount of time, and your life has changed astronomically. So I can definitely speak as like I was there on your first day in your first week. I was there, I remember. And the Jaime that I met on those first days and the Jaime that's sitting across the table from me now are two completely different people. You're so much happier. You've so much a much more positive attitude about life. So much has changed. and which has been so awesome. And those, of course, are the things that I love as a coach, getting to see. But I just would like maybe you to unpack the box, so maybe they're not hearing it from me. But like, how do you feel now that you've lost all the weight, but like I'm guessing like you're feeling better, like mentally, you're feeling better, like emotionally, all these things. Like, just give us a little bit of feeling, like how you're feeling now, like.
I'm so happy. I'm so joyful. I'm not gonna be that person that's gonna sit down and eat bonbons. No, it's not happening. It's something that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna do my steps. I'm gonna try to make my steps even higher than what they already are, because I try to make an average of doing between 10 to 20,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
Because yeah, there's times that I am tired, but the thing is, I gotta motivate myself to move and not lay down. Because if I go and watch TV and lay down, guess what? I'm gonna wanna eat ice cream. I'm gonna wanna eat chips. I'm gonna wanna have a soda. No, I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna sit there and do that. I'm gonna motivate and just be on top of myself and just be happy for myself and be joyful. Because honestly, walking in this place, at first I was kind of nervous. And then when I walked in here, that nervousness just went away.
That's awesome.
And that's just the best feeling to have, because I just love being in here. I love being with you two, and I love talking to you, and I just really just appreciate.
Well, rest assured, Jaime, we absolutely love having you here too. And something that I always like to remind, like a lot of times, like, maybe the name boot camp sounds scary, or maybe it sounds scary to come and try something new. But what I always like to assure everybody is like, hey, we're one big happy family here. And I know a lot of businesses say that, hey, we treat everybody like family, but I really do feel like we do a really good job of treating everybody like family. Like you said, like I always consider myself, hey, I'm a part-time coach. I'm a part-time therapist too.
Yep.
Like, like I'm here. I like there's nothing I love more than having people trust me enough to come to me with their biggest problems, and I can help them work through them. And it's so awesome. And that my ear is always open for you. Like I will listen to you. I will sit here for hours on end and listen to whatever you got, even if you just need to spill out those emotions.
Yeah.
I'm always here. I'm always here for you. And those are just some of the things that I love doing. I love helping people, and being able to see how much like Fit Body Bootcamp has helped you, just in like one example, is incredible. And it's all the reason in the world to stay here, and it's so great. I did have a question for you though. So now that you've lost a bunch of weight, so you've almost lost 100 pounds, how do you still motivate yourself? Because a lot of times what happens is when people set like a weight loss goal, for instance, they say, hey, maybe I want to lose 50 pounds. They lose their 50 pounds, and then they start losing motivation because it's like, I already got to my weight loss goal. Oh, hey, well, if I gain an extra 10 pounds back, it's no problem. I'm curious, what keeps you motivated, and what keeps you coming, and what keeps you rocking and rolling with those sessions?
What keeps me going and keeps me rocking the sessions is probably going through my divorce, because I don't want to be overweight. That's my motivation. When I think about what my ex did and how he treated me, I don't want to be that person anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to be it.
Yeah, that's a really good point too, and that's something that like the audience, I think at home, like there's plenty of people, especially women, in your same shoes that probably feel the same way. Something what I always like to remind is like, hey, everybody has a why for why they do something. So whether it's doing this or doing that, like some people are like, hey, I'm getting fit, and there's a why behind that. And your why is really, really important. The fact that you keep that in your mind, you always remember why, you're never going to go back to that old Jaime that you were before. And I don't want you to be back to that old Jaime. Because like I said, even just that Jaime I met in 2021, as opposed to the Jaime I know here in 2023, way, way more fun, way more positive, way more upbeat, way more healthy in life. And you've got so much going for you, and you just are always so positive and so lovely. It's so always awesome to have you. I always want you to stay at that Jaime, So I love that you keep that why in the back of your mind. You keep it there, because it's really, really important.
Yeah.
So kudos to you, and like your story, like I said, is incredible. We've talked about the physical. We've talked about a little bit about kind of the emotional and the mental state. I'm curious, because this is also something people struggle with. What do your eating habits look like? So if you work on a food truck, it's got to be hard because you're always around all this probably good food. I'm gonna guess it's not the healthiest food. If I just had to take a stab at it and say it's probably not the healthiest, how do you stay in such great shape? Like how do you work food into your world? Like what does that look like?
Usually, I'll bring my own food. I'll have what I have, because that was one of the questions a couple people asked me yesterday. What is your favorite here? I don't have a favorite. And the reason why, I told a couple of these ladies my story, and I said, the reason I don't have a favorite here is because in 2019, I was 250 pounds. Now I'm 165 pounds. And this food, honestly, is a comfort food. That used to be a comfort food for me. Now, I will bring my salad with me. I will bring my healthy food. I will bring my bars. I will do my protein. I will do what I need to do. I will pack my stuff and I will take it with me.
That's really, really good. Well, that's something that I always like to tell everybody to do is like the best thing you can do for your food, plan. Plan ahead. If you can plan ahead, you're way less likely to take all those temptations that come along.
Yeah.
So that's super awesome that you plan ahead and that like your mindset has changed. And I love that analogy you just used about comfort food.
Yes.
Because I mean, that is what it's called, but we never actually think to look past that. You just think like, oh, it's comfort food, like whatever. Like, no, it's truly, truly what it is. So like, hey, maybe you find comfort in this certain unhealthy food that maybe like, you know, maybe people that are going through hard times, like, hey, I always turn to eating more carbs, or I always turn to eating more ice cream, or I always turn to eating more this or more that. That's their comfort food. And I think that's a really, really good analogy, and I'm definitely going to use that. So I'm definitely stealing that one from you. So I do appreciate that, Jaime. The next thing I wanted to ask, so this is a local podcast. So we're based here in Orange County. I know you love going out. I know you love having a great time and hanging out with friends. So what are you and your friends up to on the weekends? Like where is someone that you frequent around here in Orange County? Or is there a certain place you go? Is there any activities that you do?
One of them is Sammy's Original, which is a pretty cool like country bar place down on Mercury in Lake Forest, which has a lot of fun line dancing and stuff like that. And other fun things I like to do is move, dance, no matter where I'm at.
Totally.
No matter where I'm at, I have a smile on my face and I will dance, and that's like one of the things for me. And besides that is the food truck, working on the food truck.
Definitely.
Working on the food truck because he's out of Orange County.
Yeah, you're so sweet. And too, I know you get to go to a lot of cool concerts because you guys are always working at the concerts, so that's super awesome. But Jaime, it's been so awesome having you on the show. It's been so great, and I know there's a lot of people at home that are definitely benefiting from this because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that are in the same situation that you were in, that are probably feeling down, that are probably feeling unhealthy, and that all they need is just like a little spark to make a change. I'm curious if you can kind of just address the audience here and just give them just a little bit of parting wisdom. So what's something you want to say to someone that's sitting at home and maybe they're saying like, hey, you know, I kind of feel like Jaime, the way Jaime was explaining herself in 2019, I feel that way right now. Like, what should I do to become the Jaime that's in 2023? So what's a little bit of advice you'd give somebody at home?
Take a leap of faith and step up and do what's good for you. Because once you take that leap of faith, you're going to be the most healthy, most happy person ever, losing all that weight and realizing that sitting and being depressed at home is not worth it. Get some exercise and come out and do what is going to make you healthy.
Boom. That's really all that needs to be said. Jaime, it has been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for taking your time and telling your story. We really do appreciate it. And if you guys at home like this episode, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe below, and we will see you in the next episode.